All right, Lem, in 3, 2, 1.
What's up, everybody? It is another episode of Are You the One? It is the aftermath, of the blackout. We have tears for fears, and we have hookups, and it's run of the mill. Let's get it.
Oh my.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
All the pretty girls.
Hey. All my pretty girls stand up,
Oh.
yo. Come on, ladies. Come on, stand up.
I can't twerk, we already know that.
Hey, there we go. Oh! What?
The girls are on me.
Get it. Hey, okay.
I gave a little.
What real swag is, okay?
Oh, we got our country girl swag jack on.
Hey!
Ooh, run of the mill. Let's go.
Run of the mill.
Made up for that terrible intro.
I loved it. I loved it.
No, you did it. Quit lying. Sensei, you ain't got to hurt my. It's okay. It's okay.
I tried.
I was, yeah, it's okay. It happens sometimes. We can't be perfect. But you know what is perfect? This panel. What?
I know. We
And
are
we
the ones.
all
We are the
in the
ones.
house. First time this season, we are all together.
Yes.
Reunited, and it feels so good. I'm
Feels
so
so
excited.
good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm ready to talk about this show.
Let's
but
do
before I
it.
do that, let me introduce myself. I'm another year older.
Yay!
Happy birthday.
Yeah, you know, just keep getting younger. You know how it is. You know how it is. Black Don't Crack. My name is Lem Gonsalves, and you can find me always at the Poet Saint. Very next to me, right next to me, is my main girl, my favorite country twerker in the world.
Country twerk is here.
Vega, what up?
What's up? First, I have to say we have a very big fan in St. Louis, Mrs. G.
Oh.
She loves us. She loves this
G.
after show, so I had to do a little shout out. But I'm Abby. You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at _Abby Vega.
Dope. And of course, oh man, they try to come for her, but they just can't
They
win.
can't.
They can't
No.
win. It's my girl Sensei.
What's up? And he's stating facts. And I just want to say, you sent for me, so I came for you, honey. And don't ever try to say that you made or I'm trying to make this conversation relevant when you're the one who was talking shit about us. So. But anyways, you know where to find me at Sensei Don't Play. Clearly, it's clear now. It's out there on Twitter. And then also I want to give a big shout out to Richie B and Justin Grant. Y'all really be my day one. Stay down for me. So I love y'all.
There it is. And of course, I can't forget about my main man, you know, holding it down, my A1 since day one.
Hey.
All day, every day. My boy Nino llanera.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Nino. You know you can catch me at Nino llanera on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Right now, I am doing some Facebooking. I'm actually some Instagramming right now.
Instagram
What's up,
live.
y'all? Say what's up, y'all. Catch me on Instagram. Let's do some talking. And Sensei, I missed a lot last week, apparently.
Yes.
But I did catch him on Twitter, so.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you
Let's
checked
talk,
that.
yeah. Let's talk,
Yeah.
yo.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. I mean, you know, it is what it is.
It is what it
but
is.
we speak facts. So
We do.
just,
Right.
you know,
I mean, it's
that's what
clear
we do.
that my opinion was correct.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
So.
And for the record, if you're going to just throw out the word ratchet, well, then I'm going to throw out the word douchebag.
Oh, it just keeps going.
I just really just.
Never
Keeps
ends.
going.
Let's get into this episode.
I want to get into this episode.
Let's
so,
do it.
So, of course, we talked about this last week, but there was a nasty blackout,
Yes.
which
Yes.
was not good. Shout out to our homeboys Ozzy and Andre who were with us and kind of gave us, you know, kind of the feeling. So now we're reeling with the aftermath, right? They always show us after the matchup ceremony, and you know, people are crying.
That editing was
You
spot on.
guys, it was so serious. Coming like, cry me a motherfucking river.
Well, you know,
That's a lot of money, though, y'all.
I think, but see, this is the thing. I think that it was a combination of the love loss and the money loss.
See, I think the girls were crying
Yeah.
because of the love loss.
Yeah,
Because you see the girls like talking to the guys and trying. They want the guys to say, you know, I'm so upset too, but they're
Right.
all like in mode like, no, it's fine. I'll just meet another girl. The girls seem very upset by losing these guys.
For sure. And, you know, and I go back to the last episode with Alicia, and, you know, I feel bad I didn't speak on it enough, you know, why she was so upset. I mean, Andre was here. He was super cool, and I liked how real he was with her. You know what I'm saying? But girls, as girls, we get easily attached. You know what I'm saying? So if we're with that person for 2 weeks, you know, together, and then we see him, you know, with somebody else.
Right.
Like,
Oh, I'd be
you
the
got
one they
me
pan to
tapped
crying.
out, you
It's
know what I
tough.
mean?
It's that-
So I understand where the girls are coming through, but I like how every girl handled it after they had their moment.
Yeah.
I was waiting for it because you know it's that AYTO like curse poison that happens in the house where you get so attached really quick and it could mess with the game.
Right.
Granted, though, it didn't mess with them too much this week.
No.
Which was really cool
Yeah.
to see because that's always the case. We're just like, when is it gonna happen?
Right.
When it's that
Right.
one couple that just wants to be with that one couple and
Right.
they don't want to break off anywhere else. In this situation, it was just individuals who didn't necessarily want to move on. You know
Exactly.
what I mean? So-
And I feel like the ones who are still moving on are real quiet, but we see you. We see you.
I think the good thing for them, I mean, it's never good to have a blackout, but one of the beauties of a blackout, the silver lining is that it is 10, in this case 11
Right.
this season, truth boost. So you can see, like, if you're paired to somebody and you feel like you're vibing with them, this tells you right away, like, nope, move on.
I was so wrong by the way because
Exactly.
that first week I was like, they're gonna be good.
Exactly.
They're not gonna black
Exactly.
out. They look like they're playing. So I was wrong,
Right.
yo.
Right.
Super wrong.
Right.
Very wrong.
And then two, for this, and again, yes, like you were saying, it is 2 weeks, but it's 2 weeks there. So it's different than just being with somebody or dating somebody for 2 weeks. You're around them 24/7. We know how this
Exactly.
process works. You do get attached, you know, because you're around each other. And so, yes, I can see how feelings can get hurt because now, you know, like, you had maybe plans with this person. You thought like, oh, there's a future there. And then now it's like, no, because at the end of the day, you got to play this game.
And if let's keep it all the way real here, since we always keep it real. I mean, the fact that these girls, you know, they were crying and then immediately hooking up with 2 or 3 other guys afterwards. It's like, girl, why you cry?
That's why they're on the
Girl.
Just had
show.
to get it out
Girl,
their
just
system.
be a savage
Just
and
had to
just,
get it
you
out their
know,
system.
you right, you ain't my match. Bye. Like, you on to the
why
next like you've been
they're on
doing.
the show.
So.
Speaking of savage, I feel like Cam was a savage because she was just
Love
like,
her.
she was not tripping. She was like, look, y'all need to, you know, let's get it together.
Right.
We
Yes.
got to get this. And she's like, man, we're down to 500,000. That's 22 people. That's like $2 a person.
I know.
I was like, I don't
Better
know
than
what
my
math
math,
this
too.
is, but I see what you're saying. I see what you're
I'm
trying to
super
say.
excited. Her and Edward, y'all.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna talk about it more.
Yeah.
But
And that's why
yeah.
she good, because she's like,
I feel
I'm
it.
good,
She knows.
you know.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm feeling her and Edward. I
Yeah.
hope it works
Going
out.
on.
Yeah.
I want to say that I am glad because I was thinking it was going to be like, because there's always that one person, right, that just ends up getting left out and doesn't really mesh with anybody kind of the whole season.
Right.
And I feel like Tyranny was going to be that person because
Not
it
at
seemed
all.
like
Oh,
the
she's coming
trajectory,
hot.
but nah, man, she's crushing on, you know,
Osvaldo.
She can't wait to get that D.
She made
Straight
it
up
known.
said it
Said
though.
it.
She made it
Said
like
it.
there was no innuendos.
Good
it was
for
like,
her.
No, this is what I want, and there it is.
I actually like that, to be honest. I feel
Direct?
like it's
The
usually
direct
like the
approach?
guys saying that stuff, and I think it's like it's realistic that girls say stuff like that too.
Yeah, all my Abby fans, take notes here because we see them in the comments, Abby. We see them in the comments. If you
Right.
want to tweet her, beat.
Y'all let her know.
Direct message her. Let me check your DMs. Let me see what's going on in there.
Right.
I got one the other day.
I'm sure they're popping. I'm sure they're popping. Abby got game.
It
I'm
goes
just saying.
down in her
I have no
DMs.
game.
Abby has game. Don't let her fool you. She be trying to
With
be
this
innocent.
sweet country
she,
twerk.
she got game.
She be out here.
Let me tell you something. I know firsthand. I'm just saying. I've seen it with my eyes. No, I'm just messing with
seen
you,
it
but not
with
really.
my
So speaking of game, let's get into this game that they did.
Yes.
And so this one they had to fill out a missing pieces of quotes from like their social media accounts and online profiles. And so they kind of had to partner up, and then there was this internet that they had to go through to get whatever the answers were, and it looked like it was confusing and difficult.
That looked like it took like 20 million takes to
Yeah,
get right.
I'm curious. I wish we had a guest tonight to kind of figure out. Maybe we can ask later next week or when we have our next guest. But it seemed like that would have taken forever.
Yeah.
That would have taken forever. It was like a obstacle course on
True.
steroids.
I mean, especially because you have to be under the answers.
Right.
And then it's like you have to like read
Yeah.
upside down.
My one problem was with this game was I wish we would have seen more of the answers. Like
was
they
all
didn't
like
even
what they
go.
had to-
Yeah, they didn't even go through because like the couple that we did here were like, oh,
Carolina?
like oh, you know,
Right.
but like
Carolina with the boogers.
I think it would have been interesting,
That
and
was
I feel like
nasty.
it would have let us know these
was
people
nasty.
more than we do, and it would have given like the viewers a little more chance to put matches together.
Oh,
But they didn't
definitely.
tell us really much information.
That was super quick. I mean, but the ones that we did get were like Okay. Like,
Yeah.
Let me just.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Let you just keep that over there.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was nasty.
I respect the honesty. I mean,
I feel like, and there's
Super
always,
honest
and
with
there's,
you.
and there's
Yeah.
always somebody that is, lack of a better term, they're just nasty because when they have these games, they really get intimate.
Oh, yeah.
And they talk about, you know, and it's like, and you find out like
At
that, dude,
least.
what?
At
Yeah.
least she was real.
So
she was.
she was super
She
real.
didn't try to deny
she
it.
didn't hide
I'm
from
just-
it.
I
She didn't
just-
defend it.
It
Too
get
much.
grossed
But yeah,
out.
that was kind of nasty.
yeah, I
I was
mean,
just saying.
To each his own, girl.
Yeah, handle it.
But it
Handle
was a lot. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
but I agree with
it
you,
was
Lem.
a
I
lot.
think it would have took like 20 million hours just
Maybe
to
she
get
should
it
just
right.
have Kleenexes next to her bed.
I mean, or that could have been work. Toilet paper works too.
Grab
Like,
a
there's a lot of
tissue,
things.
girl.
A lot of
Candy
things.
wrapper.
Oh my god,
like-
I'm gonna start gagging if we keep on talking about it. Like we have to move
Next.
forward.
Okay, all right. So let's get into the people that actually did win. So Hayden and Catherine got, you know, all the points. They each
Yep.
got 5.
I
so
like them.
they were perfect. You like
I
you
do
like
too.
them together?
I do too. I think.
Okay.
think
Okay.
it's good.
I could see it. I mean, it's still early, but I could see it. And then it was kind of a tie situation. So to break the tie, we went by, you know, the time, and so it ended up being Joey and Carrie, and ended up being Ozzy and Carolina.
Right.
And they were all kind of saying that was going to be awkward because, of course, they were some previous matchups,
yeah.
and so now you're with someone else just in the next week or in the next day, really, and now you got to go on this date and you got to see them. Kind of, the show is really it warps with your mind.
It's
Yeah.
a mind
Yeah.
fuck.
It is.
Let's
It
be
is.
real.
It
Yeah.
is. And I mean, to do that, and I could see, and you know, when I first started looking at this show, I was like, man, stop it, you know, like
Right,
get together.
right.
But I put myself in that situation, and I'm like, that would really be messed up.
Oh,
I
yeah.
would not want to be with Abby one day, and it's like, oh, we're not a match. Okay, now, hey,
Right.
you know, and then you're just like,
Yeah.
wait, what? The, you know?
I think that Carolina,
crazy.
I think there's a way to handle it though, and I have to say that I didn't think that the way she did it was the best, because they know on these dates they get their separate alone time,
Right.
and I thought it was on both
For
parts.
sure.
On Ozzy's part, because Catherine was there. Love you,
Right.
Ozzy, but
Right.
meh, meh, meh.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't think it was necessary for them to be making out
You think they
in
should
front of
have
everyone.
been? They should have been more respectful.
Yeah, I totally get that I don't blame them for like wanting to kiss and be like physical, but they could have done it like, I think a little separated.
Right.
Like I'm not judging on the fact that they moved on very quick and were like making
Right.
out, like good for them. But I think there's a better way to handle it. Because people clearly got upset.
I totally get it, but it wasn't only them too. You know what I mean? With Joey and how he acted with that.
Yeah.
Like the thing is, like he seems
Joey.
Like, he seemed like a nice guy, but
He does.
he was super in his feelings about
Yeah.
that situation because we all kind of saw it. He looked like he wasn't over it yet.
Well,
His
definitely
panties-
wasn't.
His
You know?
panties were in a bunch.
Yeah, he wasn't over
All
it.
the way
And-
up.
Because you know when you get to that point and you just get irritated about like saying
Oh,
when somebody's
yeah.
like you're not over it, and like no,
Right.
I am over it. I'm not talking about that person.
Yeah.
You're
Right.
just talking about that person.
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I was totally with.
Yeah, he handled it
her.
poorly too.
Well, I'll say this. When it comes to the whole Ozzy and Carolina thing, she was more on him than he was. I feel like she was the aggressor.
Oh,
I
yeah.
agree. For sure.
So, I mean, he was obviously playing into it, but
Right.
she was definitely, you know, the aggressor. And then, you know, he was, I mean, Joey, he was definitely in his feelings.
Yeah.
He was definitely in his feelings.
I
feel
don't
like
blame
he had just
Carolina,
listened to,
though.
like, you know, Justin Timberlake's Cry Me a River.
Yeah.
And then just like, man, I'm going to go get this girl back, man. Let me just go
Yeah.
talk to her.
Yeah, I don't blame her either. But
Because
I
Ozzy
don't know.
Ozzy is some good eye candy. He's a little hottie.
Ozzy?
Oh my god,
Okay,
yeah. I think
okay.
all the girls who watched our after show last week agreed. So I don't blame Carolina
Did
for
he tweet you back?
that's Andre.
Oh, those Andre.
Andre.
Damn.
I mean,
Hey.
I can't keep up with your one. Your
Whatever.
sensei like.
Whatever.
I'm good.
We did. I mean, I think the one thing though to look at is some of this is again to be expected. You do
Yeah.
have to handle yourself,
Yeah.
right? And some people can handle it better than others, and it's just that's the nature of this show. That's what the show does. So, I mean, yes, Joey shouldn't have done that. It was, you know, probably not the best move, but you know, is he warranted to be in his feelings? I think so.
I think it's funny because it shows like their argument. It shows like even better why they're not a perfect match.
Right.
Like the way that they were
Exactly.
interacting after. It's like, okay, now it's obvious, but
Right. And like
Right.
like we said, they're in like close quarters and it's just so hard to move really quick and then
Right.
stop and
Yeah.
move again somewhere else.
Right.
So yeah, you know it. I'll give you a pass, Joey.
Yeah.
I'll give you a pass.
I'll give him a hall
I
pass.
like to see the guys getting a little emotional for
Yeah.
once. They always make
That's
the girls
good.
look crazy.
Yeah.
good.
Well, the guys have looked kind of. I mean, John last season.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
forgot
John-
about John.
Shout out to John.
Forgot
Shout out
about
to
him.
John. That
Yeah.
brother was in all of his
He's
feelings.
still taking.
He was in touch of
He's taking the
all of
emotional
his feelings. Just saying.
trophy,
Yeah,
for
for
sure.
real. For
For
real.
sure.
Yes.
So let's get into the truth booth. So, I mean, I don't think it was any, mistake or any, I guess, surprise that they were going to pick Ozzy and Carolina.
See, I'm
because
surprised.
I wasn't, just because of what we saw.
Yeah.
They were the ones that, of the three that they had to choose
Well,
from, were
I'm
hitting it off the
glad.
most.
I mean, that made me the most happy because I was just like, we need to know what's good with these two
Right.
because I just
Right.
can't handle.
And I
Like
think-
I can't handle all this hotness in one. Okay, like they just started hooking up so quickly, and I'm like,
Super
okay,
quick.
we need to pump these brakes real quick.
And I think it's good to kind of nip that in the bud. And and speaking of that, I'm glad because I know it was tempting, and I thought, because when the dialogue started, I was like, please don't take that trade. Please don't take that trade.
right.
I'm
Because
so happy they thought about it and that
Right.
they really thought about the bigger picture,
Right.
than just jumping on let's add
Right.
that extra money in because you
Right.
just don't know. You know what I
Exactly.
See,
mean?
I was going for the trade this week.
You were.
I was not the first week, but this week I was like, I totally understand. Like, they got good information
The
out of it.
outcome of the yes, you
It's-
could be like hindsight. Oh yeah, you should have took
Well,
the trade.
it's just like none of these three couples were anyone that had been like strong for a certain period of time. Like, I think it was Cam who said this because everyone's like, is anyone not positive that they're a couple? And she's like, yeah, you got, like, I'm not positive
Right.
because
Right.
I mean, maybe there was more to it that we didn't see. I know we saw like them like
But
making out,
the
but
one good thing is Carolina
Carolina.
got paired up with Joey.
Yeah.
They're not a match, so
Right.
it'd be good to know if he was her match or not.
Yeah.
because
Right.
she's already been paired
and
with
she was
one other
clearly
person.
hooked onto him very quickly.
Sure.
Yeah.
would
So
be-
it was good.
Once it gets to the middle of this game or whatnot, I think it would be cool to say, okay, we'll do the trade here.
Right.
We might have a little bit more information,
Yeah.
but it's so fresh and so new that you want to get the most information that you can, before
Absolutely.
you try to add on
Yeah.
the money.
Right.
And you just might lose it once again to
Right.
money.
and we said, well, like
Exactly.
we were talking about last week, it's not real money yet. Like it's
Yeah.
just the, like that's like saying I'm gonna give you $1 billion
It's a thought, yeah.
if you can do
Right.
this. It's like if you can't do
That's
it,
true.
you don't get it. So I mean, at the end of the day, you got to get what you're guaranteed.
Exactly.
And so I like the fact. I know it was tempting, but I do like the fact that even though it wasn't a match, I think the no match was good because. I mean, not to jump ahead, but they did well at the end.
Yeah, they did.
And I think that was a result because obviously if they didn't, then you can imagine they would have been together.
Yeah, that's two new matches that could have been one of the
Exactly,
beams. Yeah,
exactly.
that's true.
So
That is
just
true.
saying.
Right.
But Carolina, she's all over the place though with the tears.
I predicted it, y'all.
She's
I
all
predicted
over
it.
the place with the tears. And
Me
my thing
too.
is like it's like Carolina. Okay, my thing is. I feel for them, as I stated earlier, but at the same time, it's like you can't be crying that much over that.
Like, I dread that if I would be Carolina or something. Because it's like, I think
Right.
she genuinely does think that these guys are her match, and that's
She-
why it's so sad.
That's the thing. She's one of those
Yeah,
girls who
it's really
just
sad.
don't know. And she
Yeah.
says, I don't
Don't
know
know
what I'm
what-
doing wrong. I don't know what's going on. And I feel for you
Yeah.
because you don't know what's going on.
Right.
You know what I mean? Besides picking the stuff out the nose.
Right.
Like,
I mean,
you-
I feel like, and it's like, the guys that she's been with have been giving her back the same feels.
yeah, so you
So,
quit.
it's like, I feel you, girl. Like, yeah, she was just, she was
She needs the help. That's why she's on
Yeah.
the show. Yeah,
Well, I mean,
but you're right.
right.
The tears can get a little overload
It's
sometimes.
just like, come on, Carolina, just get it together a little bit. Like it's not that
Yeah.
devastating. Like, come on. I just want to give a shout out to my boy Michael, who says cute people are heavy. Like that's my
Old
joint.
people.
He's old people.
Old
sorry.
people, he's like, they're
Sorry.
cute, but they're
Yeah,
heavy.
Yeah, that's right.
I was like, hold on, I was trying to like process that
You guys, I'm
comment.
obsessed with him. I think he's so funny.
Yeah.
I like see him on social media, and
Yeah.
then I wish he was on the show more.
Yeah.
Michael's dope, and
So
then he
funny.
speaks the truth
He
too.
does. He
speaks
really
the
does.
truth
He
too.
does,
So
he does.
I can dig
No,
Michael.
we will definitely have to get him on the
And
show.
those looks
for
he
sure.
does, like,
yeah. Yeah.
like what does he do at the ceremony every time?
Well, it's-
And he's so like large and long.
He's like,
so
"Well,
big."
it's me.
I love when
It's
they
me.
showed the little vignette and it was him and
Cassandra.
Yes.
Yeah, Cassandra.
And he was talking and she just burps in his face. It's like, that's rude. And she's like, why? Just saying. He's like, well, it is. Like,
Who was that? Who was that that did that?
Cassandra.
Yeah.
Cassandra.
Yes. She was sipping out the alcohol with a straw.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love that.
No, he's dope. I love
Yeah.
that. Old people are heavy. Just, there it is.
He was an EMT, but then he realized.
Right.
old
Just
I can't
old
carry these
are heavy.
people,
I can't do it. So going back to Tyranny, who wants to smash with Osvaldo. My thing is, do you guys, not to get into predictions too early, but do you think? I know this is her first kind of love on the show. Do you think that's something that can actually work?
Oh, it's about to get crazy.
Yeah.
I want to give it a chance. What
They
did you-
seem to have like I mean, obviously they don't show much, but
Mm-hmm.
the conversation they showed, they did seem to have some like similar ground
Right,
and to
right.
Have a good conversation going. And
Right.
clearly she's attracted to him. She thinks he's Johnny Depp in
Young Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
in
Young
what the movie Sweet Baby.
I don't know.
Crybaby.
Oh,
It goes great with the episode.
Right. Cry me.
I'm scared
telling
for
you.
this. I'm scared for this because I want her to find love. And I feel like they do have a lot in common, but I feel like she's falling a little bit too hard. I think
Tyranny.
Tyranny. I feel like she needs to gradually get into this, because I don't know, it's your first connection,
Right.
I don't know. I
wish-
just don't
You
know
want
where
her
this is
to
going to go.
like,
I want
slowly come into it.
Yeah.
I wish we
Because
knew
I
more
don't know
about
what
him.
his intentions are. I mean, he's kind of like what are those called?
A wild card?
A wild
yeah,
card.
that's what I was saying. I wish we knew more about him because from everything I've seen about him, and this is just me being like stupid and just going off like, he just seems so like sweet and like quiet, and so that's why I'm saying I wish we knew more. We haven't seen much of him.
He
I
might
don't know.
be
He's
like
Latino.
He might be
And I'm
like
Latino, so I know how it is. Okay?
he might be like a ASAP. You know what I mean? Where it's like all of a sudden he'll come out and it's just like,
Yeah.
what you doing? And then all of a
Right.
sudden you're so nice.
Yeah.
Like those Sour Patch Kids.
Sour Patch Kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Guess we'll see. Next
He's
episode.
on a neutral page
He's
right
on a
now.
neutral page.
Yeah,
do you think? I mean, it's still kind of early. It's only the third week. But do you think there are at this point genuine men that are just like playing, just playing
Yes.
with their heart and that are
Yes.
not
Yes.
trying
I
to
do.
screw any women? Who
Yes.
would you say?
I think Hayden for sure.
Okay.
And the glimpses I've seen, can we like see some more Jalen and more Derek? Like,
Yes, I
what the
agree.
heck? They show like glimpses of
I'm
these
really
beautiful
trying-
men and
Yes,
like they're
like,
nice
let me get to
and
know
like
Jalen.
Yeah, and then they
Like-
just like go to these stupid guys.
Well, they gotta go. They gotta go
Seriously.
to the drama.
Yeah.
If there's no drama, then it's
know.
like, what are you gonna show?
The genuine guys.
I want to
feel.
see some of those like they
Genuine
show. I mean,
moments.
yeah,
The
I don't
genuine
know.
guys I feel are the guys who haven't seen so much on camera so far.
So you think those are the
I
genuine?
feel like
guys?
those are the guys who are there really for that competition, but they have something to offer for the camera. We might see it in the next couple of weeks. But I honestly think that Edward seems like the dude who's
For
just
sure.
like, you know what I mean? Like, for real pretty boy swag.
Right.
Like, for real, for real.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like, he
got
seems like
that.
a nice guy. He got some swag to him. And the way he just talks to Cam,
Yeah, they
So
had. They
nice.
seem like to have a
Yes.
good conversation.
And it's not forced.
and it's
Right.
not
You know what I'm
forced,
saying?
exactly.
Right.
I like that
And it's
too.
cute, the little flirting back and forth.
Yeah,
And
it's
she was
cute.
like, what did she say? She's like, that's a privilege. And he was like, oh,
Yeah,
really?
he's like, I like to grab the booty. Or he's like, I'm a booty grabber or something.
I don't know. I feel like that could work out. I feel like he could be a.
Well, she
authentic
seems. I mean,
situation.
of all the women, she seems kind of be the most level-headed.
Yes.
Right.
Some of the things, the comments that she's
That's what I was
made,
thinking
and just
too,
like,
yeah.
yo, and I think that being said, she obviously needs someone who definitely is strong-willed, has thick skin with her,
Right.
and Edward could be that good balance for her.
And I agree with you with Hayden. I think that he definitely has a good heart. I mean, he's from Indiana, he has that Midwest, Southern type feel. So I feel like he definitely has good intentions. Now, Gianna, on the other hand, I was really feeling her. I really liked her. But now it's like, girl, you're getting on my nerves. Like, don't be just holding Hayden around because, A, you still talking about Michael to him. I feel like she's just keeping Hayden around because he's comfortable and she can tell that he really does like her. She's like
Right.
that pretty girl who kind of takes advantage of a good guy. Do you know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, from what I'm seeing, and I feel like, I mean, it's clear she, when they were supposed to come on here,
Right.
no tea, but like
Right.
they were together. So it's like I feel like secretly she always wanted to be with Michael, but she over here with Hayden because Hayden is a good guy.
What's interesting with that is it kind of reminded me, because it does bug me. It's happened a couple times in the episodes where Hayden, he's such a nice guy.
Yeah.
And she will complain about Michael or just say like, oh my God, Michael talking to another girl is really bothering me. And I'm sorry, if a guy that I really, really, really liked was sitting there like kissing and cuddling with me, but then right when another girl was doing something, he was getting jealous, it would really upset me.
Oh, for
and
sure.
obviously, I think she truly does like Hayden, and I think there's something there, but I don't know.
She might truly like Hayden.
There's something weird off with that whole...
There's that one that she can't let go of, Michael, that she can't let go of.
You know what I think it is? I feel like she feels like Hayden would be that person for her, but she don't want him.
Sure. Oh man, that's like
Meaning
my life. Like, I've been like, but I'm just saying, like I've been the guy that like, oh, you're so nice and da 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 da, but I want this guy right now. And then later they come, it's like, oh hey, but you have 5 kids, and no,
Right.
not,
And you know what?
some-
The good guys always win. And Hayden, I hope he
agree.
does switch up on her. Just, you can't take, just because you're pretty, you can't take advantage of a nice guy.
Sometimes
And
it
that's
could
just
be.
how I feel. I mean, I could be totally wrong, girl, and you can tell me what you really feel. But from what I'm getting and what I'm seeing,
And I feel like that's probably the case with a lot of these women because they are, beautiful, and beauty comes with that. And it's like it's up to you to whether you're going to take advantage of it or whether you're going to,
And it's a chase situation
be cool
sometimes
about
too.
it.
Some people just love the chase, and when they get comfortable with something, like
For
okay, I have
sure.
that person there at the moment, I can always come and fall back to it. But that other person, I still haven't got the full
it's
attention.
just super
yet, you know what I
weird
mean?
that she's still commenting on Michael, but then being on
I think so
Hayden.
too.
Right.
It's like,
And
oh,
then
Yeah.
and I don't want to move too forward, but next episode you see her being like, you can't talk to her, and it's like, girl, skirt.
Right. Slow your roll.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
And
but
then
anyway,
also,
though,
but I
that's
think
just how
too,
I
yeah.
feel.
And it's like, and that whole juggling act is never gonna work out.
No.
It's
No,
not. Somebody's
never.
gonna get hurt,
Right.
and you probably don't even mean it because you don't realize what you're doing.
Exactly.
In a lot of those cases,
Right.
But I think I think that's a good point to make. That it's like, oh yeah, this is who I need to be with. And I
Right.
feel like people find this out a lot because they're on the show because they've had trouble finding
Yeah.
love.
Right.
So they feel like, and they end up usually starting off with the person they usually go out with. And it doesn't work out. So,
Right.
but then they got the other person in their back pocket, and it's like, oh, well, but I want to have my fun first, so I want to, whatever. And it happens in the real world.
Because I'm going to be interested to see how it plays out with Ozzy now. If she's going to be like, well, you can't talk to homegirl, but then
Right.
she over here, what's the tea with? And honestly, like, what I got from the matchup with her and Ozzy, like, I didn't feel like there was really a connection to
me
be
either.
real. Like, I feel like when they both seen each other, like, all right, like, so I don't see it really going anywhere.
Like Ozzy just went for it as like, I'm gonna go with this.
Yeah,
one
I think
right
it really
now.
was more
Yeah.
of a smart choice, like they said, just because they did sit together the first week.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Right.
But anyway.
Speaking of, let's get into the matchup ceremony.
Yeah,
So it
let's
was
do it.
ladies' night, so
was.
they got to choose who they were going to be paired with. So we start off with Catherine, and so we have Catherine. She ends up picking Joey, and then we
they had a
was
nice little.
hella random,
Well,
y'all.
they just bonded over their current hatred for Carolina.
I think that's what that was.
Yeah.
That's what that was.
But hey,
And
maybe
it happens.
they
It
seem to have
happens.
fun together.
Yeah.
So
That
Exactly.
hatred could turn into some passion, yo.
Yeah.
Into some love.
Hey, makeup sex is the best sex. Did
So
I just
then-
say that out loud?
you did.
Oh.
You did.
Said,
You did. And it's-
Quote her.
Yeah,
Get it.
there it is.
There you
Tyranny, no surprise, picks her,
Osvaldo.
Boo Osvaldo. And then we have Hannah, who picks Derek.
they look cute together.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
I thought so.
Okay.
I want to see more of them together.
I do
Okay.
too. I do
mean,
too.
it'd be something brooding. I mean, I think they have their personalities match up well, I
Yeah.
think, from
Yeah,
what
yeah.
we've seen of them. So we'll see. Cassandra ends up picking Jalen.
Oh, I think this would be adorable too.
Cassandra and Jalen.
Yes.
Yeah, they're cute.
Yes.
Even though Jalen's my man.
So
He
then
is so
we
cute.
have Cam, who picks Eddie again. No surprise.
Love that too.
We saw the
Yeah.
connection kind of
Yes.
starting.
Oh,
This
no,
is
no,
when it
no.
gets kind of dramatic.
Oh no.
So we have Shannon, who picks Tyler.
Right.
And then he's then confronted because he was fooling with Carrie.
Yeah.
He's fooling with
That-
everyone. What?
He was with Taylor, and then they were no
I
match,
love
right?
Jalen. I think it was Jalen
Right.
who made the comment, and he goes, "Apparently Tyler's everyone's connection,
Right.
perfect match."
Right.
But yeah, so he was with Taylor. Taylor was already reeling over the fact that he kind of just like, oh, I'm done with you, and kind of just squashed all the feelings that they have, which I don't think is smart. You kind of got to talk it through, but then still at the same time move on. So she was already reeling from that, but then he ends up saying he's drunk, hook up with Carrie, and ends up, we find out gets a hand job from her. And so
Did she really have to say that out
I know,
loud like
she
that?
did.
Apparently she did.
Well, apparently.
I think
right.
at that
Like-
point in time, I'm not gonna lie, I could be totally wrong, but I think at that point it was like these 3 girls going for Tyler, and I think like in that moment, her saying that kind of gave her like the leg up with him or something.
Like, so she just
You know what I mean?
outed herself like that just to get the leg up?
Well, I think
Yeah,
I mean it's out
hand
of spite.
spite, kind
It's
of.
out of spite.
Like-
I don't think
like
I
he's-
don't think
I didn't
she
get to pick
thought
him.
that they were going to be a match.
Yeah.
So I think it was like, hey, just so you know,
We
I
hooked up.
I touched that last night.
Yeah.
So boom, there you are.
How she
Have
washed
that.
her hands.
Wow.
I'm like, is anyone else kind of torn on this situation?
With
Torn
what?
with what?
Like, I'm torn with the whole with Tyler, if I'm being honest, because I totally get the whole. Everyone said to get to know people.
I think
But
it's
I
the way
feel like
he goes about
it.
it. He's very dry.
I
And
think
he's
it's
very like emotionalist.
Yeah.
And he's really just like,
'Cause
I'm
I-
just gonna do whatever the fuck I want, you know, type of attitude.
Because I feel like I
mean-
the conversations they've shown, you know, he uses like the making out with and like kind of messing with Taylor as a, oh, I'm just playing the game. But in my head, I mean, like we said, we don't see all the conversations, but all the conversations, it's girls telling him about stuff, and he tells them nothing about himself besides sitting there.
Well, that's the thing.
So that's
He's
why
a,
it's like
he's a pretty boy.
So like his justification of, oh, this is just the game, I'm not buying that.
Right, but the way he goes about it and the way it came out,
Yeah.
I mean, was like just super disrespectful.
That's what I agree.
Just the
It's-
way,
He's
it
so
came
like
out.
nonchalant, like he's just sitting on a chair
yeah.
and he's just like, yeah, you know, I just fuck who I want to fuck.
Well, he even
And-
kind of admitted it
know?
himself
Yeah.
when him and
It's, like, uncomfortable.
and him and Carrie started getting, you know, flirty or whatever, and they go to his shot, and he's just like, well, you know,
It just gets
I mean,
physical.
it just happens, and it's kind of like, but I'm here, and I'm not gonna turn it down, and that's kind of how he's playing it. Like,
Yeah.
I think the whole playing the game is a cop out. That's just a way for you to do what you want,
Yeah.
and not have any feelings about it.
But
Exactly.
that's the thing. So you come on this show to, you know, to try to find some sort of "Are You the One" love. I feel like sometimes people come on this show just to get on TV, obviously,
Well,
right?
sure,
You know
sure,
what I mean?
sure.
Not to say that he did that. But
mean, it's
some
a
people-
reality show.
Some people play it up, right? For
Right.
a reality show. Okay,
Right.
that's cool. That's fine. That's your way into the situation. But just to be disrespectful to other people when they're trying to, you know, generally trying to find who they should be with while
Right.
they're on the show. There just needs to be a fine line, I think, with the way you act in front of, you know, for that situation.
But
Does
at
that
the
make
same
sense?
time, I think these girls need to like snap out of it, and just because a guy is beautiful to look at, like I think they're almost in a way at this point in time like enabling at this point, no, like what do they see besides his looks? I've not heard anyone say anything.
It doesn't seem like
Like
he's giving them
anything. That's what
anything
I'm
else,
saying. So it's like at the same time, they just need to stop giving him all this attention.
Well, I think they'll wise up.
Yeah, I think so,
obviously.
tho. I hope
And I
so.
think
I
this
mean,
is-
clearly after
yeah.
this episode, you know, it
Exactly.
shows a lot of like
I
who
really
he
hope
is as
so.
a person.
Exactly.
yeah.
And I think it'll be different going forward, especially with
And
him.
it's everybody too. You know, that just doesn't go out to Tyler. It goes
Right.
out
It
to
doesn't.
everybody.
Exactly,
And
because,
how
I mean-
everyone should be treated in that situation.
Exactly, and like every guy has gone a certain different way about it. I guess Tyler might have been the more vocal one. Do you know what I'm saying? Even though he just doesn't know how to put words together. But you know, every guy's had a bad moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And girls.
And
And
girls.
girls. And
And
girls,
girls.
too, you know?
It
But
happens.
we
I
just-
mean,
we're
it-
just calling it how we see it.
It happens on this show.
Yeah.
So we get to the rest of the matchup. So Carolina and Hayden end up getting together. We have Gianna and Ozzy. And then we have Alicia and Mike.
Which is random.
Right. Taylor and Michael. And then we have, at the very end, Carrie and Andre.
Wait, what about, can we talk real quick? Michael just standing up for Taylor. I thought that was nice.
That's what I was saying.
Oh, yeah,
Michael,
yeah.
the way he just talks and just was like,
Right.
He says it
Right.
how it is.
like,
He's
that was
awesome.
dope.
Yeah.
I think that's dope.
I think Michael, he's like, I'm trying to compare him to someone else in previous season, but he's definitely like, you could tell he's lighthearted. He likes keeping things jovial.
I think he's totally
Yeah.
different than any other person
Yeah,
we've had
he-
on the
Yeah.
show.
Really?
He's very mellow, but like he's just, I don't know, in a way.
Well,
would you compare him to?
I can't think off top.
Okay.
I can't think off top. Maybe next week I'll have
Okay.
a comparison. And I don't think he's exactly like this person, but I think what he does for the show, he's like an X Factor. You see what
Yeah.
I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to compare him. There's
Oh,
been
I
big
get what you're
people.
saying. There's definitely
Yeah.
been some of those.
Because what,
Exactly,
what I love
exactly.
too is I've noticed that you know how they do those weird little shots that aren't relevant to the storyline at all. Like we saw with it was with him and Cassandra this
Right.
week. Last week it was him impersonating Donald Trump.
Right.
He just seems like a really funny,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
goofy guy,
Yeah.
and like we haven't seen much of him
You
besides
said
the
him on social media is pretty
Yes.
funny, right?
Yeah.
I'm about to check that out. Okay.
creepy
Yeah.
and stalking you if you're watching this. Sorry about it.
No, but I mean, I think
Sorry, not sorry.
sorry. But no, I think I think he lends that to the show.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think he's an all around. He seems to be an all around cool guy, you know. And I think that's good because I think you need that.
Yeah.
You know, cut the tension and whatnot.
So maybe Taylor, maybe Taylor and Michael. I'd like to see them talking more because we've only seen her just kind of like cuddling with Tyler, not even conversations between the two. So maybe see a little more of that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, of course, with this blackout, you know, they're kind of gun shy. So and I love how they like start off as like, okay, the beams, and then there's like this darkness. You're like, wait, what? You know, and they're like, okay,
so dramatic.
Yeah, right. So then the beam happens, so they don't black out. Second beam, third beam, so they end up getting 4 beams.
Yeah, 4 beams.
That's good. Really
that's
good.
That's a good bounce back from no beams.
Right.
Blackout. So I think they're still trying to figure out the game. I think it was good of what they did, and I think this was boosting for them on their confidence as far as, you know, trying to make these matches up. So I'm just curious to see going forward what happens. Because there's definitely some people that are kind of holding on, and this happens all the time when there's a blackout or a truth boost situation where there's no match, where they're still holding on to the person that they like.
It's the AYTO person poison.
Right.
That's what it is.
Always happens.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see, because I see Taylor affected, definitely. I see, I mean, maybe she'll wise up, but I definitely see the crier still being affected as well. You know, Carolina. I'm just saying Carolina. So, but I think they can get past it. I think it's not too far gone.
No, yeah.
Because it's not one of those things where it's been like 6 weeks, they've been together the whole time, and then all of a sudden they find out they're not a match.
If they got a
At
blackout
least
again,
everything's chopping up real
Exactly.
quick.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If they blacked out again this week, I'm like, season's over, y'all. Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I don't want to see that. So real quick, let's get into predictions, and then that'll be our show. So bum. Predictions. No music. So
It's
then
okay.
let's go.
Let's
Nino.
go. Here we go.
There we go.
Prediction.
There it is. Boom.
you got?
Shout out to our engineer Anthony in the
What's
booth,
up, man?
holding it down.
So, I feel like they're gonna do one of these trades in the next couple of weeks. I feel like they're gonna want to, up their ante and try to gamble a little bit when they feel a little bit more confident, in their choices. Now that they got 4 this week, I think they're gonna start like really nailing down like who could these 4 be. You know what I mean? With Ozzy and Carolina sitting together the first time,
Right.
That should be a situation they want to check up on really quick. Right? It's Ozzy and Carolina, right? Am I correct?
No, Ozzy and Gianna.
Ozzy and Gianna. Carolina and Hayden.
Ozzy and Gianna. Because Ozzy and Gianna said together in the first week, and they're sitting together again this week, and they got the 4 beams. They're going to want to check on that if they're smart enough to do that, right?
Right.
Now, I also think they should check up on Cam and Edward and follow their stories a little bit more as well, too, because of how they've been, chilling, relaxing, all max and all cool. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I want to see that happen. I don't think there's going to be another blackout. I totally knew I jumped out on that the first week. There's no blackout this year. This season is all good. But I feel like they're going to start playing it a lot more strategical like they are now. This is the most strategical season I've seen.
You think so?
In a while. I feel like they think about it more than the other people.
Well, they have more obstacles, though.
They do.
They have a lot more obstacles.
But you know what I mean? Like, if you gave this trade off to the season... Or last season or the season beforehand, they would have taken the money.
That's true.
Let's be real, right?
I thought about that.
I would have taken the money probably.
I can agree with that.
I feel like they're thinking about this a little bit more because it's so new, there's so many new obstacles.
Yeah, and there's so many new couples, so it's like, why not just take the money? You know?
Right.
I would love to see the wild card get thrown in the fucking matchbox.
And the truth booth?
Osvaldo.
The truth booth?
Yeah.
She said the matchbox. That's the new name. We'll just call it
Hey,
that.
it could be called that.
The matchbox.
Yeah, so the wild card.
Yeah.
Osvaldo and Tyrion.
Okay.
Tyrion. I will get it right. I'm sorry.
Tyrion. Okay.
Okay.
You want to see them thrown into the truth booth?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I feel like they're a wild card. And I think it would help the game a lot if they figure out if they're a match or not.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm thinking...
Just because if it wasn't them, I don't know.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm thinking next week that Tierney and Osvaldo and Eddie and Cam are both... I think that they're going to focus a lot on these relationships because at this point, I honestly think those two are like almost like the strongest or the most obvious. Like they both seem to be equally into each other. The rest are kind of like all over the place. So I think that one of them might go into the truth. And I don't know. I'm just going out on a limb. I think they're going to get a perfect match next week.
One of them? You think one of them are?
I think they're going to get it. I hope it's one of those two, but I think they're going to get one. I think they're going to get one.
Hopefully, I mean, like obviously, as you know, you gotta win a challenge to
Yeah.
get into the truth booth. So hopefully that can happen.
Right.
But I would like to see that. I would definitely like to see both of them. Hopefully either one of them get in.
Yeah.
And see how that works. I just want to see Tierney happy.
Yeah, me too.
Because I just
She
I
seems
do.
so happy. She
I-
seems like she likes him so much, and I like
because I
it.
feel like
Yeah.
she wasn't getting no love prior. So
Yeah.
I do want to see her happy, but we'll see how it goes.
Y'all think it's too early for them to start throwing these
Challenges. I was thinking that to maybe
It's
get
too
one of the
early.
stronger.
I think
I
it's
think
too
too
early.
early
I think
Dig a
too
little
early.
bit more deeper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's see where we're at.
I
Yeah,
agree.
absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, that's been our show. We want to thank you so much for tuning in. We want to, what are we going to do? Next week is going to be the next episode.
Lem is losing his mind. He's so
You still
old.
tired from your birthday, dog?
Yeah, it was a turn up. Yeah, but next week, join us. And we might have a guest for you, but you gotta stay tuned to
Maybe.
find out. I'm just saying. Saying exactly. But it will be episode 4. And
You got that
Almost
right.
halfway there.
Almost. No, don't say that. Oh, too early. Don't say that. Don't say that.
run-of-the-mill episode.
Exactly.
Right,
Run-of-the-mill. It's such an old term. I'm so old. Oh, man. I've been Lem Gonsalves. You can find me always at The Poet Saint all day, every day. Abby, where you at?
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at _Abby Vega.
You know where to find me. All at Sensei Don't Play.
Yo, it's your boy Nino. You can catch me at Nino Llanera on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And y'all, if you're in Southern California in and around Long Beach on Friday, I invite you guys to come out to check my birthday out at the Federal Bar in downtown Long Beach. Free before 10:30. Come party up with me. I'd love to see y'all.
Absolutely. And if you like other shows, we have other shows. We do over 70 shows here at AfterBuzz TV.
much.
So you can actually find me and Nino on the
Yep,
rap game.
that's right.
Monday nights. We also got Hell's Kitchen jumping off. We got Ratchet Mondays. So we host over here Love and Hip Hop on Monday nights. So man, there's a lot of them. Make sure you tune in, keep up with us, and we'll keep up with you. That's how we do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Till next week. Peace.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.